Good morning. This is Deol 738. I'm sorry that I don't believe your Blackboard content is available yet. The plan was to have it yesterday, but quite a funny story, not for Dr. Hamilton, but for everybody else. We had staff development planned all day yesterday. We were doing the staff development on campus, and he got locked off campus yesterday. They were doing disaster drill yesterday morning, and then they shut the campus down at noon yesterday, so we had to stop our staff development at 1:30 because of the started to sleet and bad weather there. So they're closed until Tuesday. Gardner Webb shut down all operations until Tuesday morning at the earliest. So our Blackboard page is not available until at least Tuesday. It may be Wednesday before we get back with the kind of snow that they've had through that region. So I apologize for that. It was to be due yesterday, but they were too busy trying to do emergency preparedness yesterday morning to get things done. So, but I will cover Blackboard. You'll be able to see my screen, and I will cover where everything is briefly today. As soon as Blackboard becomes available, email me and let me know. And I will schedule another section, maybe midweek, where I go into more detail than this morning. So I'll just make this morning's brief, and I'll just cover the basic outlines this morning of things. I do have 3 documents that I can email you when we get through this morning. I want to cover them quickly before I email them. Kind of helps with questions. I will email you the syllabus, which is just the general administrative things about Gardner Webb and graduate classes, and you know all that stuff already. But I will send that. I will send our weekly schedule, which covers all 16 weeks of the class, what's due. I'll go over that in just a minute. And then I will send the daily schedules for our 8 days together. And so Danny said that he would be with us today. I don't know that he is, but that's a good example. Danny's not going to be with us on Friday the 13th, and so I have contingency plans for when you're absent. So let me just dive right in. All right, the first thing this morning will be the syllabus and what's important about that. It has our meeting times for our face-to-face classes from 9 to 4 on the Charlotte campus. I have the dates. I also have the dates of our 3 Zoom sessions now. I have scheduled them on Friday. If we need to move them to Saturday, that will be fine. They start at 9 in the morning and go to 10, and then after that, you will do group work on your case studies. You will Zoom one another to do that. More on that at the when we talk in depth the first day of class. But so there are our dates. What's also important is the textbooks are here. I've got them listed. If you don't have them, make sure that you get the 4th edition of Salkind, the statistics book, the quantitative book, because it is Excel based rather than SPSS as the computer package to do calculations. That's very important. The book's complete. The 5th edition is completely different than the 4th edition. It's written for statistical package for the social sciences, SPSS, rather than Excel. And in-class attendance. Now, as I said, Danny has emailed me that he won't be able to come on the 13th. That's okay. I've set the course up where you can be self-directed on the days if there's a day that you can't come, so that you won't miss the work. So this is the syllabus. It is as you can see, it is on the main menu of Blackboard. Next, we have the weekly schedule, and what I have there is what's due every week, starting with week 1. What reading is due, what activities we will do in class that day, and the discussion board items that go along with that. I have that for each of the 16 weeks. As you know, we have one outside reading book, Super Crunchers by Ian Ayers. I have all that. I have when you have your tests. I have discussion boards, all the things that you're to read, your case studies, everything that you're to do for all 16 weeks. I have in a spreadsheet here or in a graphic organizer of everything that you are to do. So you shouldn't have any questions. You should be self-directed in terms of being able to get to all the materials and know what's due each week. So I have all 16 weeks planned out for you. All right, new share. Now, the weeks that we do Zoom sessions, again, they'll last about an hour. And so we'll meet that morning. We'll go over the case study, which I have those on our Blackboard shell also. But the days that we meet in Charlotte, I have daily schedules already planned out by time block so that you'll know what we're doing each of the time blocks each day for all of the 8 days that we're meeting. And they obviously are correlated to the weekly schedule. And so, for example, the first Friday from 9 to 9:30, we'll do introductions. Then I'll do instructor input on the terms that we expect you to know by the end of the semester, or the things that we want you to know. Again, Colin's good to great. Start with the end in mind, and so I'll go over all the terms that I expect you to know by the end of the theories and practices by the end of the semester. I'll cover the consultancy-based project that you will do this semester. It's a project based on your consultancy. Then I will do chapter 1 instruction from the quantitative book. And then in the afternoon, we'll do the CITI IRB. That's a required function of this course and of this program, where you learn how to handle data. That's Institutional Review Board. That's online. You'll do that online training in the afternoon. That's a requirement. You'll go online and do your modules that afternoon. And then, as you can see, I have this. You can look at this. I'll send you these 3 Word documents as soon as we get through this morning. So this is the heart of what we do. All right. New share. Go back to the desktop. And I'll close those 3 documents and get back on the desktop. So as you can see, the course overview, this is where I'll post this video. There's my information. You can contact me anytime. The orientation modules for Blackboard, if you're having trouble, support services are on the course overview page. Then the syllabus, the weekly schedule, the daily schedule. All the materials that I will cover in each of the class sessions are already here. That's why I said, like Danny, he can just access what we were supposed to do that day by clicking on this button. It will give him all the materials that I'm going to cover, and it will give him the link to the CITI. So on his own, he will go in. There's Collins and Schlechte, those things that I want to cover quickly, and then there are all the terms that I'm going to cover. There's the directions for your consultancy-based project. There's the PowerPoint that I'm going to cover in my classroom instruction, and then there's the link to the CITI IRB, where you do your modules on how to do ethical research. All those things, and I have that for each of the weeks. So if you happen to miss, or something comes up, you have to leave early or come in late, all the materials are already there for each of the daily sessions that we're going to do in Charlotte. I also have behind them are our Zoom session case studies. I'll start with the first one. Now, I did a little cheat for you on the first one. I'll introduce that on our Friday morning Zoom session. We'll make our groups and get our people together. They're going to work together and Zoom one another that day. And you can Zoom that day, or you can make an appointment to Zoom sometime during that week to get your case study done. And I've also included the notes for that case study, the instructor notes, to show you what we want done. Now, I don't have that for the next two. You'll have to kind of learn from the first one what we're looking for when you do a case study, and it's in the instructor notes. So again, I will cover that, but if you have questions, you can go back and refer to my notes for what to do for a case study. So I have all three of the case studies for you from our Zoom sessions. Then I have a case study and consultancy project Dropbox where you put your finished product. You'll present those in class sessions, but I have a Dropbox for you to put your written products in, and those will be graded. I have a folder here with all your tests when it's test time, and you take those on your own at home. When it's test time, we'll take the first one in class so I can answer questions that you have, but after that, you'll take those on your own. They're all in the folder here. All your discussion boards from the books are here, and the Merriam qualitative discussion boards are much more involved because there are no written tests for them. The Salkind are just one question discussion boards that encompasses the main idea. That's a 15-20 minute deal. That won't be bad. And then the AIRS discussion boards are a little more involved because again, there's no test for them. Royce is the program evaluation. There's 2 tests for it you will take after the final week. And then if you want to do if you want to on your own do more with Excel, learning how to do data analysis with Excel, I have some Excel data sets here that correspond to the chapters and the work in the workbook. The actual Salkind book has some workbooks in it. And I have the data sets that go along with those. So as you can see, this is not a correspondence course. We will meet face-to-face. We will cover this material, but if you're not able to be with me, and I understand that on days like today, none of us could be together. We would just do it online. So that's another thing that I want to say, how appropriate this is. We've got 8 inches of snow here. Charlotte's snowed in. You can't get there today. If we have a day like this, I'll let you know, and we'll just come online on Zoom, and we'll do class by Zoom, our face-to-face class by Zoom. And it's already laid out for you, so we don't actually have to be face-to-face, and we'll do what we were going to do, but we'll do it over the computer. We'll do it over video. And if you can't be there, you can do it on your own sometime that week. So we'll have a good time. I'll try to make it fun and interesting. If you can see from the daily schedules, I break it up where we don't have a whole lot of my instruction. You don't have to listen to me for a whole lot of time, but there are just things we have to cover. This is not a seminar where we all sit around and offer our opinions. There is material that we have to cover and material that we have to learn. But I think I have it organized in a fairly logical way that'll make it easier for you and have contingencies built in so that if we aren't able to meet face-to-face, either on your end or my end, that we can still cover our material and get through the 16 weeks and get done what we need to get done. One last note this morning. This is a tough course. There's a lot of material. You can't get behind. You need to make the commitment to try to stay up, and I have the materials there for you that you can review and you can look before you come to class, so that it will help you with those. But the point of saying that is I'm available always. Call or email me. I'll get right back to you. If I can't take your call, I'll get right back to you, but I'll definitely respond within minutes unless I'm driving somewhere across the state. And then I will send you a kind of a crazy email that says something like driving. And that means as soon as I get to where I can park, I'll get back to you. But do not hesitate to contact me anytime. All right. My 15 minutes are up. I will now entertain questions. Anybody have any questions this morning?
Dr. Lamb,
Yeah.
This is Brenda. Regarding the Zoom sessions, you said we have an option to have them Friday or Saturday. When will we make that final decision? Because Saturday would be much better for me.
Okay. At the first face-to-face meeting, we'll plan those out.
Okay.
during that
Good.
initial time. Saturday works fine for me. We can do Saturdays, but we'll take time, but we'll poll. We can do a combination of both if we have to. I know y'all work on Fridays, so it might be better to do them on Saturdays. So we'll probably make that, but we'll make that decision at the first meeting. Now remember, we're only going to meet for an hour, and then we'll decide on we'll probably at the first meeting face-to-face decide on our groups, and y'all can decide when y'all want to Zoom each other and get together and work on these case studies. Now, these case studies are kind of the thing where you work independently, but then you come together as your group. And that's why I have that Schlechte article in there for you. He speaks to that being, and I believe in that highly, that we don't always have to get together as a committee or a group and try to do everything together. What we do is we form groups, we work independently, then we come back to the group. And that's kind of that's what the case studies are for. Can you work independently in a group? That's a big part of professional competency, is being able to be assigned to a work group, do your work independently, come back to that group, and then put that work together. And so Gardner Webb believes highly in that, as do I. And so that's why we do it that way. So if you want to, after we sign off that morning, the hour that we're online together, and I cover what needs to be done, if y'all want to work, if you want to get together as a group and assign what's going on, or we might can do that when we meet face to face each time before the Zoom session. That the face to face weekend before that, you might want to get together and decide how you want to do those things. But I'm going to leave that up to you. Again, that's part of the learning curve is how to get the group together and decide and assign responsibilities and do the organizational part of that. This is a Doctor of Educational and Organizational Leadership. I direct the actual course, but within that, we ask that you do a lot of the direction and the organizational planning.
We're fine with that. We've done that before in the past.
So that's what Dr. Hamilton told me. Dr. Hamilton's a little angry right now, but he'll be all right. As I said earlier, he got to campus. I got there early yesterday morning and was able to get on campus before the emergency preparedness drill started, but he got there late and he had to park off campus at Hardee's and walk about a mile to where we were doing our staff development, carrying all of his materials. And so he's not a happy camper right now, but he'll get over it. But we work together. Now, he and I work in a couple of other programs on campus, and so he's kind of filled me in that this would be an expectation for y'all, is that you would work independently and come back as a group. So I'm very pleased to hear that, and I'm glad that y'all have done that. So does the course organization make sense to you?
Yes.
Yes.
This is a Doctor of Education and Organizational Leadership. The course should be organized properly too to make it work for you. So any more questions? Lyndon, thank you for joining us. Brenda, thank you. Everybody, thank you for being with me today. I'll go ahead and sign off now. I will post this video on our welcome and the course overview page, and I will send you the 3 documents that we have. I will send those, the syllabus, the weekly schedule, and the daily schedules. I'll send those right now. So I'll sign off. I'm going to have to get out and get my shovel and get started here and try to dig out. So y'all have a good day, and I will see you next Friday the 13th. So y'all have a good week. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Dr. Lamb.